To post. He says, I love the lineup.
Good morning, everybody. All right, let me mute this echo. All right, so not a bad looking morning. We have AMD moving some. It's down about, let's see, 16 cents. We also have CRBP, not the best volume, but it is gapping up from 778 to 868 with a high pre-market of 938. So a pretty big level here at $9. We'll see what we get there. And also looking at this 850 level. Really looking for a gap fill to see if it's going to drop down, fill some of this gap on the way down. That's kind of what I'm looking at with it. We also have FTK gapping up from 141 to 265. Looks pretty good. We have MGEM doesn't look bad. Let's see what else we get. TLRY is really making a pretty big move in pre-market. Gapping up from $80.40 to $97 now, so gapping up about $17. Pretty big gap up, significant percentage wise, and we'll see where this one goes as well. Also looking at NVEV, it is gapping up from 604 to 619. Small gap, but it's a small range stock, and so definitely gonna watch this one as well. INFI gapping up from 988 to 1015. We'll see what we get with that one. GLUU gapping up from 909 to 934. AXSM at 715. And another green day yesterday. We'll see where that one goes. AMRN. This one is about break even. It's actually down 15 cents from where it closed. And so yeah, I watch CGC as well. There you go, Luke. Alright, so this is day 4 of the opening range breakout test. So far I have had 2 green days, 1 red, and then we'll see what we get today. I actually fell asleep with the position yesterday. I'm in LJPC, and I already took profits once, and so this is just the second position. So I'm actually up in the account. But I already took profits once, and we'll see where it goes now, you know. And so we'll see. Like I said, I took profits once. I'm probably up about a few bucks in this trade, but I forgot to exit this one yesterday. I set a stop area of 616, and it got pretty close to stopping me out, but it just never did. You know, it got up to 616, but it just didn't stop me out right there. And so I ended up holding it through the night. And, you know, it's not going to be a losing trade. I'm still up in the trade no matter what. But the second position that I'm still holding, I'm down 650. So, like, we'll see what we get. But yeah, like I said, really happy with where I exited AMD yesterday. You can see this arrow that I drew here was right when the SPY broke the high of the day. And so this arrow right here at 926 was right when the SPY broke the high of the day. Right around then at least. And that's when I decided to get out of my short position because I felt like the market was trending against me. And I was right. And so I was able to minimize the loss down to a very small loss, protect my account a little bit. And so I'm happy with that for sure as well. HIMX gapping up from 397 to 425. SFTEUM popping up on the scanners. ERJ, SNX. SNX doesn't look that bad. It's a little bit more expensive of a stock, but it's gapping up from 86, 83 to 92, and so it doesn't look terrible. What's up, Huguetes, Bill, Danny, Luke? What's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning. So yeah, main watches: FTK, AMD, TLRY, the cannabis stocks: Cron, CGC, INFY, CRBP. Probably one of my favorites. It's gapping up. Volume's okay, but it's moving some. Big percentage gap up as well, so over 10%. And so we'll see what we get with this one. I'm definitely watching this one. FTK starting to move up here. And AMD gonna drop here maybe. Yeah, I've been playing AMD nonstop. I mean, it's just a reliable stock. It just moves in a reliable way. I'll be right back, guys. All right, I'm back. Luke Stevens. I've been trying overnight holds recently. Currently in ANFI, decent so far. Let's look at ANFI. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. One thing that I used to buy and hold overnight a long time, really before I started trading options. What's up, Mike? Yo, yo, yo. What's up, bro? But yeah, no, so I used to buy and hold overnight a lot of the time. One of the kind of old trade ideas that I used to have was that I would look for a big volume spike right before the close. Like you can see it here. You can see like the big volume spike. You can see the big spike and breakout right before the close. And then I look for it to gap up from that. That's kind of what I used to do. And it worked a decent amount of the time. My theory on it is that like insiders within the company know something that we don't. Or, people are getting hyped up on this particular stock. And so they buy it and it starts to break out with big volume before the close. Yeah, I don't really hold overnight as much. What's up, Russ? What's up, Two-Way? Good morning, man. I mean, I never got too worried. I would always trade a small enough size overnight to not really care that much about it. Not that I didn't care, but just that I wasn't stressed out. No matter what, I was probably going to be okay. This last trade today on LJPC, I just fell asleep. Yesterday, I fell asleep. And didn't wake up until after the market was closed, and so I got stuck in this overnight position on LJPC. I've actually taken profits once already, and so it's still a green trade. The reason it looks red is because I already took profits, and it's a different day, and so the profits from yesterday that I made on it aren't showing, and it's just a small sizing. Yeah, I'm looking at FTK as well, Daniel. What's up, bro? I'm looking at FTK CRBP. CRBP gapping up from 778 to 854. Doesn't look terrible. But yeah, FTK really getting a lot of volume. I doubt this one's tradable for me. Yeah, it's not, unfortunately. But it's getting a lot of volume starting to really break out here. We'll have to look up the news in a minute. Also, look at TLRY this morning. Somebody else mentioned that one, but TLRY gapping up from $80 all the way to 97. So huge percentage gap up, big move, a lot of volume. One of the stocks that I don't really trade as much. It's just a little bit more expensive than I usually like to trade, but it's definitely showing up here. CRBP or FTK, Russ? Which one got bought out? FTK. 175 mil. Yeah, we could look the news up really quick. Yeah, it says Flowtech Industries is going to sell Florida Chemical to ADM for $175 million. Yeah, that's what it is. So buyout. Interesting here. It's definitely moving some. Big gap too from 140 to 3. Over 100% move from where it closed yesterday. So big move so far in pre-market for that stock. Yeah, it's a little rich for me too, Daniel. Mike bought ORGO. 2 days ago went up 2,200%, and they froze the stock and I couldn't sell. Then it crashed and I lost a ton. That sucks, man. Yeah, it's just low volume, man. I've never traded anything like this just because the volume's so low. It's kind of like what what's her name was talking about yesterday. Elizabeth was talking about yesterday, because kind of a similar move. with it. Yeah, ANFI doesn't look bad. SPY trending down from 258 to 257. Yeah, just by the daily chart on the SPY, you know, Mitch and I both kind of think it's going to start coming back down here. I mean, I hope we're both wrong, but you know, you can see the support and resistance right here at around 258 to 262 on the SPY, and so I think it'll probably come back around here. But I hope we're wrong. You know, I hope the market goes up just for the economy's sake. But the daily chart looks kind of like it may reverse here, so. All right, we got NBEB up from 604 to 616. What's up, Danny? So Bill, I am running TEFs, trade ideas, and Thinkorswim. So yes, really, this is what my computer is running right now. My computer is running TEFs, trade ideas, Thinkorswim, OBS, Zoom, a movie, and 5 tabs of Chrome and WordPad. And so you can see it all at the bottom here. You know, Zoom, OBS, trade ideas, TEFs, Thinkorswim, a movie, 6 tabs of Chrome, calculator, and WordPad. I mean, I used to have a worse computer. I upgraded my computer, I don't know, probably 5 months ago. I bought a i7 16 gig. Excuse me. Excuse me. But yeah, I bought an i7 16 gig, and it really doesn't have problems running anything. I also have gigabit, like a gigabit internet with 1,000 megabytes per second, and so I'm good, you know. But yeah, I need OBS. OBS is what streams for me. I use Zoom to conference with Mitch, so Mitch can be here. Calculators usually for like a trading thing or sizing thing. All right, here guys, I got to go help my wife put my kids in the car. I'll be right back. All right, so yeah. Bill said I have an i7 Omen by HP and 4 monitors. I think I have an Inspiron. It's like some number, like an Inspiron 9860 or something like that. It's an i7 16 gig, but I have 3 monitors. I have two 27-inch, and then I have one ultra wide 34-inch as my main monitor. That's the one you all can see is the 34-inch. But really, you guys can really only see half of it. Like you can see if I like drag this to the side, you can see the other monitor, like the other half too. See, there's the other half. But I usually don't have room. The OBS won't catch the whole side of it, so I kind of just got to stick to half of it. What's up, Pun? OESX. Gapping up, low volume, but you know, these penny stocks that start to test $1 can really start to run. OILD, gapping up some. Good morning, Clay. What's up, man? All right. Yeah, I love ultra wides, man. It was cool. I kind of had to do it, you know. I had two 27-inch, but it's kind of like one of those things that only a trader will really understand, which is like the more monitors, the better. Like I think Mitch has like a 4 monitor setup. And so it's kind of one of those things that like only a trader will understand, where you just kind of keep adding monitors. I don't know if I'll be able to add another one though, because the ones I have, while I only have 3 monitors, the ones I have are really big. You know, two 27-inch and then a 34-inch. Like they're really big, so I guess I could put some vertical on top of these, but I don't know if I'm going to. Yeah, I mean, FTK, what's the float on FTK? It actually kind of looks, I mean, I don't know how big the float is. Let me look. The float on FTK, it stands for Flowtech Industries. All right, Forensic Toolkit, no. Let's look at the float. Market cap's 80.3 million. $57 mil is the float for FTK. 57 mil. That's pretty small. What's my main source of income? So like I do a bunch of different stuff. So I'm a real estate agent. But to be honest, I make most of the money. I have like an Amazon business that I sell from home. And so like I have like, I think I've done a video where you can see like my front office, which is just filled with like books and like shipping supplies and stuff like that. But it's like I do a bunch of different stuff. Like I have a bunch of books published on Kindle. I have Amazon business. I'm a real estate agent. I make a little bit of money with this, you know. You know, Andrew, everybody thinks I'm doing that, but I'm actually just, it's just an electric cigarette. You know, everybody thinks I'm like smoking bud in here, but I'm really not. I have 2 kids. I live in Texas. Not that I have anything morally against it, but, you know, I wouldn't be able to do it. Scanners here. F for Ford. Getting some volume, spiking up here. Gapping up now from 867 to 880s. But a pretty big move right now. Check out F. See if we find any news for this one right now. Yeah, man. Fiscal year 2018 adjusted EPS free cash flow guidance to exceed previously provided guidance. So this is Ford Motor Company. I'm surprised Ford is actually so cheap of a stock. I wonder what the float's like. If it's got a bigger float, it doesn't matter much, but cheap stock for Ford. And I guess that's making GM or Ford push up. We got Mitch here. Yo, yo. What's up, Mitch? Yeah, the market. I think it's just the overall market. Why is CGC up so much?
You already losing money, man?
Bro, I fell asleep yesterday, man. I told you. Like, I got in LJPC. I set a stop at 16. At like, look, I got in LJPC, right? And I made money on it. You know, like I already took a profit on it. I'm actually up in the trade, but you can't tell because the gain I made from yesterday is you can't see the gain I made from yesterday. But I'm still up in the trade. But I set a stop at 6:16 and I fell asleep. And then I woke up and was like, oh no, wait, I'm still in this trade. And,
no.
luckily it didn't get like hyped up overnight, you know. I'll probably just exit at the open.
Hey, well, look at those 259s, man. Starting to hold up.
I know, I talked about it this morning.
People would have kind of laughed at me if I would have said it was going to 260 before. And went right to it.
Trevor asked, good morning, where do I look to find news updates so fast? Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim updates news, probably one of the quickest out of a lot of the brokers, and so I use Thinkorswim for news, and it shows it to me. Like you saw, the minute it came out, I could see it. But yeah, it was, what was the news? It was, let me look it up one more time. It was something about GM raising their guidance. Yeah, look, here's another one on it now. Let me see. Yeah, GM shares spiked 7%, Ford shares up 2%, FCA up 1.3%. And I think it has to do with GM sees their 2018 adjusted EPS and their free cash flow guidance to exceed previously provided guidance. So they're going to have better than expected guidance for GM. And you can see GM really start to spike here. So the rest of the, car American automotive companies are up at one sympathy. But yeah, look at GM spike. Like I said, Ford's up, spiking. FCAU, Fiat, Chrysler up from 16 to 1641. So all the automotive companies are starting to spike. Also, like we said, we have FTK. Really been moving up all morning. CRBP is probably one that I can trade. Is one that I can trade, and so I'm looking at CRBP as well. Gapping only at this point from 778 to 850 or so. Yeah, Thinkorswim has Benzinga Squawk too, which is really, it's free, which is the crazy part. Like, you know, Benzinga Squawk costs like what, like $100 a month or something like that. You can get it for free on Thinkorswim, you know, and so I think that's cool. I love Thinkorswim for that reason. Like the stuff they offer traders is legit. What's up, Arian's World? Good morning, man. Long time no see, brother. All right, so Luke Stevens says, John, this is off topic, but can you please explain options on Robinhood? I don't get it. Yeah, I mean, you could just buy bundles of options on Robinhood. So, like, what I do is, like, I look for put options, like short options, and I can pick the date that the option expires, and so I can go to the stock. If they have options available, it will say trade instead of buy or sell, and I just click trade, go to options, and I look for options. If I think the stock is going to go down within the next 2 weeks, I look for a 2-week away option, so that would be like January 25th, and I can go to January 25th options and look for put options with a strike price. The strike price means the price where you're going to make money on it, and I can just look for favorable option plays on Robinhood. I kind of switched to options. Yeah, no worries, man. Options are cool, man. Look, I can pull up my Robinhood account. I think I'm actually down in it. But, like, for instance here, like, all I have to do if I want to look at an option is, let me find one, see if they have one on CRBP. Yeah. Okay, so, like, if I saw CRBP here, and I wanted to trade an option, can everybody see this? I could just go to trade CRBP options. If I want it to expire on the 18th in a week, then I can just look for a put option that expires in a week. And with that, they have different prices. Like this one's 3 cents. And so if I think the option is going to be under $5 or so within a week, then I can buy this $3 option. And if it drops under $5, I make money. Or if I think the stock's going to go up, I can buy a call. And so if I think the stock is going to be up over 760s, I can buy this option, which would be $515. And so I'm not going to buy that one. Way too expensive. But that's the way options work on Robinhood. You have till the expiration date to go and to get above or below your strike price, depending on what it is. If it's a put option, you have until the expiration date for it to get under your strike price. In a nutshell, there's certain little nuances of it that you want to understand, but in a nutshell, yes. Like if you buy a put option, you have however long until the expiration date for the option to go under, or for the stock to go under your strike price. If you have a call option, you have however long until expiration for the stock to go above your strike price. And if it does, you make money. If it goes under, in a put option, you make money. You lose money on them by your option expiring worthless. So like if it never reaches your strike price, you lose what you pay for the option. Or you can also lose money like if you sell options. You can sell options to people instead of buying it, but there is risk in that as well. So if you sell an option at a certain price, there is some risk to that. Right. If you're buying options, you only risk what you paid on the option, which is why I kind of like them. You have a very defined risk with options. All right, but yeah, we got the motor companies really spiking up here. Ford, GM, FCAU, Fiat Chrysler. No, so it's not an order, Luke. It's you're buying the option. So like you buy the option and you're holding that option, that contract. And so you could sell it, but the closer it gets to expiration, the worse you're going to get for it. Like the lower amount you're going to get for it. So like if I buy an option, if I buy a $5 call option that's worth, $30, if I buy a $5 call option that's worth $30 and the stock gets to 25 and it's a day before it's a day before the option expires, that option's not going to be worth much at all because it expires in a day and it's still not at the strike price or better. How do you see news for TBLT? I can look up TBLT. Titan Advisors reports 14.4% passive stake in tough built industries is what I'm showing for TBLT. So Titan Advisors picked up a 14.4% stake in it. All right, but yeah, like I said, for movement today we got FTK, we have CRBP, we have, like I said, the automotive stocks, Ford, Fiat Chrysler, GM, all spiking up on sympathy, except for GM, which had positive guidance. Let's see, we also have TLRY, which is a cannabis stock, really starting to spike here. It's up from 80 to 93.50. We got CGC, which had a big green day yesterday. NBEV. I mean, it's gapping up today. Let's see when that news story came out. It all depends on when it came out. Two-way. So, like, let me look it up. TBLT. Yeah, I mean, this came out yesterday. It looks like an after hours 12. Yeah, this came out in after hours. So this is what happened with it two-way. So like the news came out in after hours. And so this gap up is actually mostly from after hours. Like all up here is from after hours. And so it's just following through with what it did in after hours right now. But yeah, that news story came out in after hours. Yeah, GM had better than expected guidance, John. Oh, I think that's why a lot of these are moving. That GM had good EPS and guidance for fiscal year 2018. Yeah, no stress. Two-way. But yeah, we'll see what we get today. I mean, not a bad morning. Not a ton of volume. Gonna continue this testing session of AMD. Yeah, definitely watch the overall market today. We also have stuff like NBEV, which is up. Doesn't look terrible. Yeah. Excuse me. Choking on my coffee here. APHA had a 80% spread overnight. Wow. Yeah, look at APHA move here. A lot of movement. It's technically up right now too. It closed at 658. It's at 680. But a lot of movement for APHA. I wonder what's going on with that one. Let's look it up. All right, so yeah, so APHA's CEO or APHA CEO and the co-founder are to stand down, and their quarter two revenue is up, but it trails the consensus. So its quarter two revenue was up compared to last year, but it still was behind the overall consensus on APHA. And so kind of good and bad news for APHA, and that's kind of causing it to be a little volatile so far in pre-market. All right, Mitch, hold it down for a second, bro. I'll be right back.
Got you. All right, guys. So I'm looking at the overall market a lot. Been seeing it hold, looking for levels to look out for today. I don't think it's going to get past that 20, essentially 259 again. We've had 2 touches up there. If we do have another move up there, we got to really be careful above 260. Above 260, I think this could break out. I think the SPY is going to hold up here and start making its way back down. But that's just my overall opinion of the market. Always take your own assessment. All right, let me catch up here with the chat. All right, wake up, wake up. I agree, John. I agree. I got to wake up. All right, so what we got here? When's the big move to Denver? Trying to make it March, early March. So just right around the corner. It's been a lot of work, planning out everything. But I think it's going to be a great move. One of the real keys I'm going to be watching is I'm watching MU in this kind of a long-term pennant flag here. I've been watching it on a 15-minute. And there goes Hendrick knocking over my mic there. Sorry for the loud noise.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous of Mitch, man. Moving to Denver, man.
Definitely. We'll do. When I get out there, one of the cool things is I'm planning on kind of in the future. I'm not sure at what point in this year, but I'm gonna get with John. One of the ideas that I've been having, I don't think I've even told John this idea, but been thinking about maybe getting some traders together, whether that be in Houston, that John's in, or maybe Denver.
Nah, let's do it in Denver, bro.
Move over there to Denver.
I'm trying to go out
maybe
to Denver.
Even before I get out of here in Orlando. I know we got lots of traders around, and I'd love to maybe get together, even if it was for a small conference, just to get some traders together, share some knowledge.
Yeah,
and I think it would be beneficial.
Let's do it to Denver, man. Denver's just cooler than Texas.
Through?
Yeah, I would rather go to Denver, man, for sure. I think probably we have more people from Denver anyway, but I don't know. I mean, we got John O out here in Texas, and so we got.
Yeah, definitely. We gotta, find something maybe affordable that we can rent, maybe a nice house and or something like that. If not a conference room in a hotel, and we'll hold our first conference this year.
Right. I mean, really, I'm looking to kind of buy a property out in Denver anyway, and then maybe like Airbnb it out when I'm not there.
Yeah. But today's going to be mainly about breaking ranges. All right. So for the SPY, been seeing the SPY be in this range about from 256 to 259. Been seeing attempts for multiple days now at those levels. Let's talk about when it broke out of that level. It broke out of that level on Monday around 1 p.m. And then from that level, we kind of retraced to early Wednesday, then broke above it and held cleanly above it. Then on Wednesday afternoon, we made that retrace at 2 p.m., came back down to that 256, held support again. Then at the open yesterday, you got a little down move. It held those 256s, came right back up there to the resistance, up there at 259. I want to see it break out of this range. And once it breaks out of this range, it's going to be more of a determining factor on where it's heading. And that's why I'm going to wait for at least a range breakout.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was saying, it went right up to that 259 level and got rejected per the daily chart. I mean, I could see it coming back down some. Who knows, though? You never really know, but A lot of resistance above us right now on the SPY, and so like I was telling Mitch yesterday, I hope we're wrong, but I don't think we are. Mitch has got ice in his veins, though. He doesn't care, you know. Mitch just wants to watch the world burn, you know.
I mean, I'm just that kind of person that I wouldn't be mad at, you know, a tank. I wouldn't be mad at the rockets. I just want to see movement.
Yeah, volatility. That's what we need.
Yeah, man, that's what I look for. I think that's what makes trading exciting, and you know, the movement is what we want to see.
Right.
Is it interesting on the downside? Yeah,
Absolutely.
Maybe it's kind of like that herd thing, you know. There's always the herd that's more bullish than bears. You know, when the bears show up, no one likes the bears.
Right.
When it's bull, you know, you see on CNBC, everyone cheerful, smiling, retirement funds. Yeah, we're doing this.
Right.
Well, when you see the bears come out, you start seeing all the bad news.
Right. Everybody looks for somebody to blame.
Yeah, they even start coming out with negative publicity, trying to bring the market back.
Right.
They'll bring kind of a publicity on you know, anything that comes positive. They bring it really quickly to light, and anything that's negative, they kind of start shying away from it. You know, a lot of people are talking about the government shutdown right now, but I don't think that's having an effect right now in the market. It has all to do with trade talks from last year. A lot of analysis that's been going on in the market. It just says that what's actually happening here is uncertainty in trade kind of wars. What's going to happen? Are we going to continue these wars with China and other countries, keep moving into kind of that nationalist opinion and kind of limiting trade? Because at the end of the day, guys, the market does very well when we have what's called free trade. If we're not going to have free trade, then you're going to limit the market, and certain things are going to be hit because of it. I think this is what we're seeing. You know, once again, this is strictly opinion, but you know, one of the keys that I look for is what is the underlying asset. I always was taught to look for the underlying asset in every stock. If you can understand the underlying asset, you'll usually understand where the stock is coming from and why it's making moves.
Yeah, for sure. Excuse me. Voice is going up.
You see kind of I feel like sometimes there's like the real public story right now, which is the government shutdown, but then there's the one that's not being talked to as much, and that's the trade rumors and kind of even Trump's Twitter. You know, if you see everything that he's trying to say within the last probably month is trying to support that there is no trade wars, that there is no battle.
Oh, there is though.
And there's definitely is. Yeah, there's definitely a battle there that's going on.
I'm not getting political, but obviously there is. You know?
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. That's just being factual. Right. There's definitely a war going on, and it can play factors. And where does it play factor on? On the overall market. You know? Yep. That's where it's going to play a factor. I think that's what we're seeing, and we just have to see if it's going to be able to actually knock our levels completely down, or if it was just more of a panic. And today and then the next week we can break these 260s and get back to kind of normal levels for the extension that happened.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm also going to be watching the automotive stocks. Like, I don't know if you saw these today, Mitch, but GM, GM, FCAU, and Ford F, all gapping up off of, I think GM put in positive fiscal year guidance, raised fiscal year guidance, and EPS, and so the sympathy plays are moving up because of that, like Fiat Chrysler, FCAU, and
do you know why is it based off of revenue? Is it based off of kind of international revenue? Because one of the biggest things with cars is Trump's kind of against them from getting steel anywhere else than the U.S. And so those are the things you can look for to see what's going on there, how they're making their money, and look into their capital risk. There's always risk factors you can look in at 10K, and you can find their risk factors, see what can actually potentially hurt them and why they're being so strong. If they're being so strong, regardless of, kind of our presidency holding car companies back, you want to see that they're not only making money, but they're finding ways to create revenue to make up for their kind of trade costs that has been ever increasing.
Yeah, and I mean, surprisingly, we have a decent amount of volume today. Like, we have TLRY, like there's some movement in pre-market for sure. APHA, one of the weirder ones, I think it said the co-founder and CEO is stepping down, but it also had positive earnings, I believe, if I remember correctly, what APHA was doing. So you can see it's kind of volatile right now. Moving, close at 658, it's at 670s, but originally it was down to 620 and bounced back some. So going to keep an eye on APHA today during market hours to see what it does. NBEV gapping up some. INFY, obviously FTK, CRBP as well. So we got some movement here. I'll be right back. Hold it down, Mitch.
Gotcha. Just reading some of this GM report, see if I can find anything that actually makes sense. Seeing 8K, but it wasn't too much there. See what happened here. All right. Okay. Just looking at a couple of Form 4s. If no one knows what a Form 4 is for SEC forms, it's a statement of changes in beneficial ownership. A lot of times I look at these to see if there's any certain insider or someone like that trying to gain a lot of share size, and maybe that's why it's making really big moves. One of the key things I always look at is the SEC website, where I can get all my kind of 10Ks for Form 4s, 8Ks, etc.
Yep.
So they're talking about in there that based off of the earnings report that came out in October, that they're going to have to revise that for their guidance. So it's essentially kind of overall guidance. I'm just trying to find out what was holding them back and seeing what actually happened here to kind of help that out. So I'm going to look through the risk factors, see if I can find anything before the open.
For sure. Should I buy a put option on FTK? Would that be a decent idea in your opinion? So it's kind of the idea I usually look for, which is like look for overextended huge percentage moves, buy put options on them, wait for them to come down. The only reason I'm a little bit hesitant about FTK is because it's a buyout. And so since it's a buyout, it's not like the conventional overextended hyped up gap. It's a buyout. And so, I don't want to say yes or no. I don't want to give you the wrong idea, but that's just kind of my 2 cents on it. All right, guys, we got about 3 minutes. 3 minutes until the open. So good luck all. Let's do this. LJPC, the level 2 looks a little bit better for my trade, but we'll see what it does right at the open. But yeah, what's up, D. Evan? If you're still here, man, long time no see, brother. Good to see you, man. D. Evan's like a really OG, man. He's been here for a while. So what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. All right, guys, we got about 2 minutes, a little bit over 2 minutes. Yes, sir. Let's get ready. Yes. Thank you, Two-Way. True, let me get the intraday scans up here. We got about a minute and a half left.
All right. I see MU trying to make a downward pull towards the support. The support for me, I have at kind of right now in this level right now, 35, 36. This is going to be the first one. Let's see if it can get back down to 35.10s during the open. I'm definitely making a downward pull here. I'm going to look at the SPY overall, and it definitely looks like it might make a move towards this 256 support that we talked about. Remember, the resistance is right above it there in the 258s, 90s, and you could call it 259 a resistance also. I like the 258.90. And it looks like we're going to get probably an opening move down to this 256.
Yep. My cargo ship said, hold on, appreciate the sub, Urban. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it. Thanks for the subscribe, man. Welcome. But yeah, no, so my cargo ship says, even if you flip a coin and it comes up heads 24 times in a row, the probability is still 50-50 next flip. Yeah, with the market, you get a random distribution of wins and losses, and that's why back testing is important. But you get a random distribution of wins and losses, and you have to take each opportunity in order to be able to take advantage of the probability in your favor. And so that's kind of the way we approach it. But we got 5 seconds, guys, so good luck. Bell's about to ring. Let's do this. There's the bell. Good luck, all.
APHA looking interesting.
Let's hope this first 5-minute candle's not too large. What's up, bro? Look, we got Ahmed in here, man. The legend. What's up, brother?
The legend.
We got him in here. What's up, bro? All right, let's hope this first opening range candle isn't too huge for AMD. What's up, Houston? Good morning, man. Good morning. Got a big downwick on
There we go.
All right, we got a drop on CRBP. CRBP's dropping.
GM moving fast.
LJPC down to 609. 614 now. Kind of spready. What's up, Houston? Hey, that's where I'm from, Houston. So what's up, bro? Go Tigers. Houston, go Tigers. All right, we got to push back up on AMD here. CRBP still dropping. TLRY dropping.
I'm not going to lie. I hit my order, but it didn't fill there for AMD. VWAP fade. Would have got in there 940s. Would be risking off of 1945. Would have been a great trade.
It was a good one for sure.
It's just I had to switch my limit to a market because I got blocked on the first order. Not being ready, not being prepared.
Yeah,
it's annoying because I saw MU move down, so I wanted to take the one that looked better, which was AMD at the time for the actual VWAP fade.
Yeah, kind of still looking at the opening range 1 minute breakout for AMD. Let's see if it's successful or not. It would be successful from about 25 cents, 23 cents, and so at about 7 cents it would be successful. Rather large first candle here for AMD. It's actually not that big, but it's about 30 cents so far. All right, we got a spike up on LJPC. Like I said, still holding this one from yesterday. It's right at 616. It's just spready right now. I don't hate CRBP with like a risk of, what would the risk be? 26, 27. Not bad. What's up, Lucas? What's the SPA doing?
All right, I'm looking at AMRN for VWAP reject. Have to be up to 1820s. Risk off of 1830s, 10 cents. But this one has a potential of about 50 cents.
AMD kind of up there for that VWAP rejection or for that fade. Risk could be at, I don't know, 43s or so. 45 maybe. 10 cent risk, about 20 cent reward, so it doesn't look terrible there for AMD. Just going to test the opening range though. I don't want to be too many different things. Going to get ready for the opening range now that it's formed that first candle. That first candle is about 30 cents or so. CRBP doesn't look terrible either with like that, like I said, that risk of about 830 or so. If it gets up to 817, 13 cent risk, reward level down to 780. So pretty tight risk here. I got to be careful here for this opening range breakout on AMD. We'll see if we get it over 1950. There's the new candle. The more it kind of consolidates in the range of that first candle, the better, I think.
Yeah, everything's holding a little bit too well here. They see the SPY hold.
Yeah, SPY rebounding some. All right, got to be careful. This is probably where I'm going to make my entry. If it breaks 1850s here, going to let it test that range. No, I mean, I'm just testing the opening range breakout, Isaac. So, like, whichever way it breaks on this 5-minute chart is what I'm testing right here. Probably be better that I pull the 5-minute up. But, yeah, I'm just testing this opening range breakout here. If it breaks here, I'll buy it on the long side. It just depends on if it breaks, what the overall market does, too. SPY heading back down. Like I said, the longer it stays in that range, the better it is for me.
Thinking about MU here. It's getting close to my...
Look at that CRBP. Doesn't look terrible. All right, we're getting a big down move on the SPY. SPY kind of getting closer to that low of the day now. So we should get a pullback here. Just waiting for a clean break of that opening range, which in this case is...
I got another block there. I don't know why.
Here. And here's the range. SPY down to the lows.
I don't know what's going on. My buying power being blocked here.
I just think the range is more defined when it does that. All right, so here's the break on the opening range for AMD. It's kind of trending against the market, though, so I have to be careful with it. We'll see what we get. But like I said, it's kind of trending against the market. Like the SPY is down, and so got to be careful with it. But relatively tight range. Looking for that 1-to-1, which is about 30 cents. And so looking for...
Missing the VWAP reject here for AMR.
80 or so. CGC really pushing up some. There goes the market.
MBV holding on a VWAP. Going long.
LJPC, I'm just going to get out of this one. Right now I'm looking at CRBP with a risk of 27, but it's got to get back up there to 1820s or so.
I think the one that was really nice was AMRN. I just didn't watch it as it bounced because I was watching MU here for a VWAP fade.
All right, so I'm going to take a partial here because it gave me that 1-to-1, just about. And so now I'm pretty comfortable in this trade. I can just let this work now. I've gotten my 1-to-1 just about and taken profits once already, and I can just let the rest work. Like I said, the goal with the opening range breakout is just to let it go up until 11 a.m. market time, as long as it doesn't risk me out. And so that's the goal right now. That's what I'm letting it work here. I got to be careful, though. The SPY is down a little bit on the day. It still hasn't broken those lows, but it's definitely consolidating in a downward, way. INFY for a VWAP reject maybe here.
I'm a little annoyed. It should have been an MU. I don't know why I'm getting my buying power blocked here. I think I'm having problems with tests.
Uh-oh.
Should have already been in. I hit the market at 35.41.
It's a nice reject on AMRN.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not a bad trade already, my MU trade, but it blocked me twice. I don't know what's going on with it. I would have got in at 35.41, taking first profits right here at 22, and then looking for 35s on the next move.
All right, SPY bouncing back some here. Still down under the VWAP intraday, though.
Mm-hmm.
S-Fund, good fade. I don't know if it ever faded, but it didn't look. It's definitely washing out some. SFUN. NBEV really skyrocketing up here. CGC, look at CGC go. It's up a ton as well. All right, we'll see what the market does here.
Yeah, I want to see if it's going to VWAP fade again, or is it going to get above that 27.80 or 257.80.
Nice two-way, good work, bro. All right, so we're getting a test at around the high of the day on AMD. Market broke above the VWAP to a certain extent. We'll see if it breaks this resistance at 257.80 like Mitch says. Yeah, I like that level. It's going to kind of dictate what the rest of this does.
Quick reject from that level. The exact level we just called out.
Yep.
What's up with eBay? Why is it getting hit so hard?
Big drop back down on the SPY, and so we should see a big drop back down here on AMD. Yeah, I might have taken it a little. Might have taken it a little. Maybe took it a little early, Adam, but to me it looked like 1-to-1. It's kind of hard to judge, to read this and then read that quickly. So I tried to get out at 70 something, roughly 1-to-1, but maybe a little bit early. Maybe work out for me though. But AMD testing that high of the day again. AMD's kind of trending away from the overall market right now. There's 73s, trying to break that high of the day again, sitting at 72. Trying to get up to 74, it looks like. Market broke the low of the day here, guys, so we might see some turnarounds here. Market heading down. Of course, Adam. Yeah, no stress, man. Yeah, I mean, I think it was the right move to take it maybe a little bit early. It was close enough to 1-to-1 for me to be content with that. Especially now that the market's like heading down. I'm glad I took some profits off of it. Just so I can give it that room it needs to maybe work. It just depends on how well it stays up here, even though the overall market is trending down. If that makes sense. But yeah, AMD's trading against the market for sure now. Market down, broke the low, AMD still up, so good for my position. But we'll see if it holds this level even though the SPY's down. Which is also good because even though the market's down, any bounce could still make AMD squeeze up a little bit more. It's back up to 70. 72s. Let's see if we get that break again. It keeps testing that high of the day, so the longer this holds as resistant, the worse it's looking for me, I think.
I have an order out right now for 35.40s. I don't know if I'm going to get the bounce, though, in MU. I think I might have missed my entry already, but I'm not going to chase here. It needs to be up in the high 30s for it to be correct and viable.
NBEV maybe a bounce play here. Is that which one are you looking at?
MU.
TLBT. I know somebody was talking about that one earlier. It might have been TBLT. Yeah, TBLT's up. It's sideways, but if you can break 2, it looks good. There's 74s again. Looks like it just broke the high of the day for a split second. Got rejected back down, so that resistance still holding on AMD. There's 75s, so there's a nice break.
Yeah, AMD pretty strong.
Yeah.
I'm canceling my order right now because of AMD. In the same sector, holding way too strong there.
Yep, I think that makes sense. Yeah, this would have given me that 1-to-1 right here at 12 at 1980 or so. So now at this point, I'm pretty comfortable taking profits. Can just let it work for the rest of the day. See if it starts to really move up here and give me that bigger reward for that 11 a.m. target. I'm going to hold it until 11 a.m. unless it breaks my entry level now, which I think is a reasonable way to approach it, like I said.
GM turning down there.
Anik, I may do it after this week. It just depends on how well it works. It's been working really well. This is the, if assuming today ends profitable, this would be 3 out of 4 times this strategy has worked. Much better reward to risk with some of these gains versus the loss I had yesterday. So at this point, depending on how well it looks, I may move on to, live money next week. It just depends on how well it works. But so far, so good with it for sure. I went long, Isaac.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things you just need to really build up enough trades live so that you can really just go ahead and take swings. Because if you want to do this, it's not about doing this with 100 shares. It's about confirming that you can do it with your 500, your 1,000, and then you can go ahead and take your swings.
Right, for sure. And like Anik said, the backtest results were really, really solid. I think if you haven't watched the video I put out on it, the backtesting results were really, really solid with this one. And, the paper trading results have confirmed that. And so at this point, it's looking really good for it. And it's definitely one I'm interested in.
All right, big important part here, guys.
On the SPY.
SPY back to that 20 look for that 257.80 to see if it breaks. If it breaks above that, this is going to start pushing up. The real key is I'm looking at MU. MU has that third resistance there already built in the 40s. My only problem with it is if the SPY gets above that 257.80, and you see already AMD kind of breaking out. We need to see a reversal in AMD and kind of that rejection from that high in the SPY.
Yep. I'm also looking at AMD, see if it holds at this pre-market high. Like you can see the pre-market high was right here, as well as right around the closing price at 1980. So I kind of want to see it hold above those levels. It just depends what the SPY does. I think a lot of it, depending on how well this thing starts to follow the SPY, that all depends. But so far, so good.
Yeah, stock's still looking bullish to me.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'd actually like to see the VWAP move up a little bit more. So we need volume for that, but I'd actually like to see the VWAP move up a little bit more so it can kind of act as another support level.
Looks like I might have got a nice move to 40 there because we got a rejection there off the SPY. The high is at 257.74.
Hey, nice pun. Congrats, brother. Congrats, man. Nice work. Green is good. Green is good, man. SPY relatively in range still. Nice pun. Good work, brother. Nothing to scoff at, bro. Good work. Like I said, if anybody interested in wanting to use TradeNet, I know I posted it earlier for somebody, but if anybody wants to use the broker that Mitch and I use, you can go check out that link. Biggest flaws I've always said is a lot of penny stocks aren't tradable, but cheap commissions, you know, they do have their New Year sale going on right now, so it's 20% off TradeNet packages. So it's one of the ways we keep the stream free. If you want to help support the channel, we make a commission from it. You can go through our link if you're already interested in using TEFs or TradeNet. So go check them out. AMD looking stronger here, testing 1990s again. Looking good. Yeah, FTK kind of fill in the gap some.
70,000 shares going through on MU at 35.72. And that's way above the price. So that's definitely something to watch out for, guys. Always look at that time in sales. Saw 70,000 shares go through at 72, 35.72, and it's nowhere near that. It's 30 cents away.
Yeah, maybe a VWAP bounce on GM. I could kind of see it. The reason I like it is because the risk level is pretty defined, like down here at 90s or so at 37. And so your risk is about 16, 17 cents. Your reward's much higher than that. So that's the reason I like GM right now for the bounce. But we'll see, you know. Nice, Bill. Congrats, brother. Congrats, man. Nice work, pun. Good work, man. Just keep at it, brother.
I'm short there off of 46 here.
On MU?
MU.
Yeah, it's trading against AMD anyway. SPY dropping back down some here. Like I said, I'm going to probably stick to the plan depending on how well the SPY starts to follow AMD. If the SPY breaks the low, that's my cue to get out. I don't want to get caught in a big downward move here. We'll just see how well it holds at 80 or so. Got a lot of support at 80. So depending on what the SPY does here, the SPY starts trending down, my cue to get out. At the same time, though, a lot of the times the SPY is going to bounce right back here. That might cause some upward momentum on AMD.
Yep, getting a little bounce here. Let's see if it flushes through on the downside for the SPY. 252.20s underneath that, or if it's going to bounce here. I think we might get we just got to pay attention. It's just it can really make a move right here. And this is the deciding candle for it.
I might take 50 shares off here just to get an even.
There you go, downward break.
Just to get an even 200 for the remaining.
Got a nice downward break here.
Yep, SPY down. We'll see what AMD does here.
All right, guys, I'm still in 35, 36s here for MU. Trying to get down through the 35.20s here.
Yeah, like I said, that 1980 is a big support level. You can see it was a resistance level right before the close yesterday. So that's kind of the level I'm watching for AMD. It's still kind of trading against the market, though. And so I still think I'm okay. But if we get a big downward move with the market, that'll be my cue to exit. But at this point, we're still looking okay. Especially if it continues to hold over 80. FTK, I can't trade it, but it kind of looks like a fade. You must be looking at the 1 minute, Lucas. Let me look at the 1 minute on AMD.
All right. Looks good now. All right, guys. So my hold is going to be up to at 43. I don't want to see anything above 43s. 40s with big volume can get me out also. It's looking good. Just needs to break down through 35.30s for MU and through that 257.20s on the SPY. Okay, downward action. Let's see if we get this move through the low. Low right now is 257.10.
SPY dropping.
I want to see it break that 10.
Here, I'll pull you up and then watch AMD on my other monitor. Hold on, let me pull it up. No way. If
I gotta hold tighter and tighter now. All right. Don't want it above that 40s now. Gotta be careful here. Want to see that flush of the SPY to confirm our trade here.
SPY down, AMD still kind of consolidating around
Broke
1980. Yeah, AMD dropping, or SPY dropping.
Yeah, SPY dropping, just about everything dropping right now. Tiva is still an option if you're not in a trade.
This is where I got to be careful, so I'm going to pull you down real quick. Watch AMD. Still all right. I took profits at around 1-to-1, and so even with these last little shares, I'm still okay. I can just let it work some. Back up to 80. Looks good for AMD for me. What's your entry on MU, Briss or Mitch?
My entry right now is 35.36. I don't want to see it. The risk started off at 45. I'm looking at a lot tighter to this 35.40 now, as I got in this down move, but it's created that resistance right above there at 40s. Wouldn't want to see 42s, 43s.
Right.
I wanted to hold 40s and reject down through those 30s.
TLRY news. Let me check that out for you, Eric. Hold on, let me find my phone.
Surprised I haven't gotten any ability to take first profits here. AMD kind of shows it, you know, the stocks in at least in the sector are holding right now. Just got to be careful here, guys. Here comes 41s.
All right, so the news on TLRY, Eric, is that the PE firm says there are no plans to sell their stake in the company, and so for that reason, they are gapping up because a firm that apparently has a stake in their company said they have no plans to sell that stake. All right, AMD spiking back up here, market rebounding some.
All right, can't let it get past this 45 here. It's holding these 42s too well. Lots of shares going through there at 42s. All right, 45 is my out here, guys. It's going to be I'm out.
No stress. I think that was a good exit. I think if it breaks out, it's going to break out right here.
Yeah, it's on the breakout.
Don't stress it.
Looked
Yeah,
good.
no worries.
Just went against me.
Yeah, it happens. No worries, Eric. But yeah, somebody holding a stake in TLRY said they have no plans to sell that said stake. So kind of making the cannabis stocks move today. Cron up. NBEV up. CGC up. So cannabis stocks are up.
And there was a what I call a change in following the SPY. Stocks aren't following the SPY today.
Yeah, a lot of them aren't. I know AMD's not. It's following it. It's kind of like I said yesterday in class. Like even on days where they go against the SPY, they still have subtle changes with the SPY, right? So like if the SPY bounces, a lot of times they'll subtly bounce, even if they're trending away from the SPY overall, just from the sentiment changing. And so even sometimes when a stock's not following the SPY, if it kind of makes sense if you think about it. It will subtly follow it, even though it may not be like a full macro continuation if the SPY does it too. I don't really trade Canadian stocks. Tour. SPY bouncing back, broke over the VWAP. It's at 257.63. No, I don't know any. Never traded really Canadian stocks. Yeah, that's what I said. I thought it would break out there, so I think that was a good exit. Look at INFY breakout here. What did the automotive stocks end up doing today? Running up. GM, Fiat, Chrysler, down. GM is up. Ford, up. So, automotive stocks are kind of up today. Oh, Cron is Canadian. Yeah, I think a lot of the cannabis stocks are Canadian, actually. I think this 1980 point's a big level for AMD. We'll see what the SPY does here, though. Interesting to see if it fades again or if it starts to move in an upward direction on the SPY. TRTC. I vaguely remember that one, TRTC. HYRE getting some volume. TLRY up a lot, so the pot stocks are moving. CRBP, yeah, I was watching CRBP this morning. Kind of a tricky stock to trade, it looks like. But AMD really forming this range in between, what is it, the 90s and the 80s. 93 in between 80 or 77. So about 20-cent range on AMD here. In this little channel. Oh yeah, what did APHA end up doing today? I know it was really volatile in pre-market. It's up with the rest of the Canadian stocks, or the cannabis stocks. Alright, SPY pushing up here. Testing that previous high. We'll see if we get a break here. Yeah, I'm assuming you mean on a 1 minute. I can kind of see it there too. See the trend line on AMD. Alright, we got the SPY break on the upside. SPY starting to move, testing the high of the day. I think this would be great for my AMD trade if the SPY does break the high of the day. But it's testing it now. Definitely going to let it work some. But another really beautiful example of the opening range breakout, man. Even if I would approach it with the 1-to-1 idea, it would have worked really, really well. Could be out already. But like I said, I'm also testing the hold to noon market time idea. And we'll see what we get with that. But overall, really successful day for the fade. Or for the, not fade, opening range breakout 5-minute on AMD. So far, the testing's been going really well with it. You know, a lot of successful moves. SPY testing these lows again, or AMD testing these lows again, though. It's still in the range it formed, Isaac, like AMD. It's still in that range between 94s and 74s, so a 20-cent range. It's still in there. Down to 75s. We'll see what we get here. It's kind of testing that range now. If it breaks under here, it looks weaker. See if we get a VWAP bounce here. It's down to 70s. Broke out of that range though, so it's kind of a crucial level here, crucial time for AMD. That range was between 74 and 94, about a 20-cent range, so it broke down to 72, 71s now. Look at APHA go, APHA breaking highs here.
A little part of me wants to buy the bull flag on MBEV here, but it's not my pattern. But it definitely looks good.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. APHA squeezing up too. Some of these Canadian stocks are running now. Another day with not that many fades. Market kind of sideways, but another day with not that many fades. Successful opening range breakouts though, but not too many fades.
Yeah, what I've been seeing is they're happening, but only on the first move.
Right.
And so not the full pattern VWAP fade. The first move. If you're not getting that first move right now, you're missing out on the move.
Right. Yeah, I saw it with AMD.
Yeah, AMD, I had that chance. I mean, I looked into it. I might have done too many shares, and that's why I submitted too much buying power. But
How many
I think that's
shares
what happened.
did you try?
I was trying to do 400 or something like that. But
That shouldn't be too many, I don't think.
I think it's right near the amount. I think I might have gone over by like a couple $100.
Later, Todd. Don't stress it, Todd. Listen, man, like we always say, it's a random distribution of wins and losses, man. So don't stress it. And like I said in class today, like it should give traders confidence, right? Like trading is actually very simple if you think about it. You back test a strategy.
That flag pattern on MBEV. It's a good idea.
Yep. But no, so trading is actually very simple if you think about it. You back test a strategy over a decent sample size, find the accuracy rate, practice the plan, and then just implement the same plan that you tested. So even if it's not going well for you as a trader, the only turning point is just to find a profitable strategy and back test it. And if it works, it works. Just implement that strategy. You know, even if the strategy you're currently using isn't working, just find a profitable setup, back test it, and you know that's it. That's all trading is. Sweet Red, if your screen's blurry, you just got to refresh it. It's all subjective. It's all depends on the person. So if the screen's blurry, it's not on our end. It's on your end. So you just got to refresh it.
I think PTI is halted. PTI halted.
Nice job, two-way. Good work, brother. PTI.
Yep.
I remember PTI.
It's probably a chat room pump, so be careful.
Isaac says two-way. Don't you want to be a little greedy? Yeah, bro. Everybody's doing it. You know, you should too, two-way. Come on, just one trade. Get that peer pressure going. Yeah, don't be a wimp like me and quit working. Or quit early. Yeah, no stress, Sweet Red. Alright, we got AMD bouncing back here. Yeah, so assuming today is profitable, I'll probably move on to live money next week. It's kind of a fine line between testing it, but not wanting to test it so long that by the time I'm done testing it, it stops working. So while it's working, I think I need to be taking it. Yeah, two-way. Everybody's doing it, man. Just one trade. He says, heck no, locking in my trades to grow my account. That FOMO gets me every time. Yeah, man, for sure. I agree with you. All right, we got to squeeze up on AMD, looking a little bit better. Look actually better on the 1 minute chart than it does on the 5 minute. But looking good regardless. See if we get that high of the day break. SPY broke the high of the day. That's good for me. SPY up to 258. What's up, James? What's up, brother? Good morning. In a way, late today. Probably taking the day off myself, but wanted to stop in the stream. What's up, James? Yeah, appreciate it, brother. Welcome in. Good to see you, man. All right, SPY at 258, breaking highs. Definitely good for my trade right now. What is that noise? Why does it do that? Oh, maybe that's you, Mitch.
What noise?
The ding. Does anybody hear that? Maybe it's just me.
I have alerts. Maybe I got an alert that hit me.
All right, AMD up to 92. Looking good. Let's hope it continues in the breakout direction. AMD on the 1 minute would have been a nice bounce, like I said, like a nice VWAP bounce. If you look at it on a 1 minute chart. Beautiful bounce. Pulls back to the VWAP perfectly here. I mean, I'm in a trade on it already. I don't want to mix trades with it, but looked good. Yeah, Abdul. Yeah, window chime. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't know what it was. AQMS popping up on my scanners. Look at INFI right now. INFI is looking strong. What's up, insurance? Nice work, man. Don't stress it, Eric. You'll get there, brother. You'll be back in no time, man. All right, we'll see if the SPY starts trending up or if it comes back down now. Why do I like U-Stock trade better than Webull? I don't. I don't like either one of them better than the other. I think they're both good for different things. I think U-Stock trade is good if you're a long bias trader that doesn't need leverage and can kind of learn to trade with $1 commissions. I think Webull is good if you're a new trader as well that likes to trade in pre-market, you know, that wants a better platform than U-Stock from your smartphone. And so I think they both have their uses. All right, SPY pulling back some. We'll see if it finds some support at that previous high of the day. I mean, Eric, you know you can download TEF's smartphone app, right? TEF's does have a smartphone app. You just look for it in the App Store. It's called TEF's, and then you link it with your account. But they do have a smartphone app. I'm guessing that's why they're moving, Paul. Not 100% sure, but I would assume probably on sympathy moves. ACB popping up. Some of these cannabis stocks are running. Look at ACB go. Wow. ACB really moving here.
I think that might be the next one to get bought out. I wanted to buy this one back at $5. I think it's the next one to get bought out. So definitely one interesting. Some people thought it was going to be the one instead of APHA.
I mean, they're both running. Who knows? ACB looks a little stronger, though.
I think that's why they are running. I mean, it's APHA's kind of agreement already. And then ACB has always people watching it right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Another thing is they're doing a conference in Miami, the cannabis conference for investors. So.
Oh yeah, Eric. Yeah, they only have. It's only on Android. I don't know why they do that. They should have a smartphone app. Probably couldn't get licensing for it. But yeah, you can download TAFs if you have an Android, like me. Android for life. I'm team Android for sure. The reason I like Android, to be honest, my nerdy side will come out, but the reason I like Android is because I can download Game Boy emulators on Android, and I can't on iPhone. So they're just less strict.
SAEX breaking out.
All right, AMD pulling down, so I'm kind of following the market in a subtle way. The market dropping, AMD dropping, and so I'm gonna watch it here. Market's overall a little choppy right now. You know, kind of up-down movement.
All right, on AMD, let's see if we get a bounce. If it doesn't get back above 1988, we can look for a pattern breakdown.
Yeah, I'm looking at this 74 level for AMD. I think it's got a lot of resistance or support there.
Yep, so I think that's the support. I'm going to look for it to bounce here to the 88s, and we'll see if it breaks above 88 or if it kind of cracks down and heads to the 74s again.
Right, for sure, Sean. I kind of agree with you. More control for Android. You can do more stuff. iPhone's easier to use. The way I describe it is like Apple versus Microsoft and Android overall. It's like Apple is like if you want like a computer to like, you know, surf the internet, Apple's good and everything. But if you want a computer to do work on, you need a Microsoft or Android. You know, Apple's great and everything, but it's more of like a recreational computer as opposed to like Microsoft, Android being work related and like can just do more stuff. What's up, Cool? Hey, brother, I thought about you yesterday, man. Where you been, bro? Good to see you, man. That's right, Cool. Cool's jumping in there. We're team Android in here, bro. iPhone is for basic people. That's right. Yeah, man. What's up, Cool? Yeah, like I said, I thought about you yesterday, man. I was like, where's Cool been? So, Cool, just to give you an update on what I've been doing. Testing the opening range breakout, Cool. Had really good results with it. And so I've been testing the opening range breakout every day. If today's a green day, which I'm assuming it probably will be. Well, I mean, it will be no matter what. But I'll probably move on to real money next week with this strategy. It's time, I think. I mean, two-way, you're the outlier. But everybody else is basic, you know. I have to America, you know.
Here comes those 88s to test. Let's see if we get above it.
Yeah, for sure. I could see that as well. Uh, I could see that as well. That maybe some creative benefits for Apple. I'm just joking, guys. Really, like my wife has Apple. Like I actually like using Apple computers. I just can't do as much stuff on them. You know,
It's
so
okay.
like for a trading computer, I'm not going to use an Apple. You know, I think Mitch and I have the same phone. You got the Galaxy Note 9, Mitch?
Yep.
Yep. I love it. All right, we got to move up on AMD.
I mean, it has to get above those 88s. Like,
Yeah.
That's the level. You see
Yeah,
it
you
project off that level?
Yeah, you can see the range of it already drawn here. Yeah, I have 87 and 74 is my range in this one so far.
Yeah. I'm just drawing the trend line down from the top.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it doesn't break under 67, I'll stay in it. But if it breaks under 67, I'll get out for a green trade. I'll take it.
My thing is to watch the overall market, see what's going to happen here. We're going to make a move back down to the lows, 257.23, or we're going to break out above that 258.07. Like I talked about pre-market, let's watch this range of the SPY. It's actually been quite tight, not as quite as like yesterday. It kind of had that real bullish run after the first wash. It hasn't had that big of a range, only about $1.50 versus yesterday $3.
You know who blessed us today, Mitch? You know who blessed us in the chat?
Oh,
With his present?
What's his name?
Ahmed, man. He blessed us in the chat today, man.
Apple buyer.
The legend showed, bro. The legend showed up in here.
What you don't understand is he went out and he bought literally apples.
Right.
He bought apples, like
Oh.
red apples.
I misunderstood it. I thought he bought. I thought he bought the whole float of Apple. I thought he bought like 5 billion shares. I guess I was wrong.
It was 5 billion apples, bro.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense, actually.
Hey, you see how right now you got that turn right off of that 88 level, that 87 right there. Let's see what happens here.
SPY dropped. It's still in the range, though. Like, as long as it stays in this range,
Yeah.
I'll stay in it.
Yeah, the SPY's still in the range.
That's right. T America has a good point. Was it Fiji apples, Granny Smith? You got to be more specific, Mitch. You're not in your game right now, bro. You're off your game right now.
You know, it's that I don't know about you, but I remember the Macintosh apple being red. Never saw it green.
True. Plus, when I eat apples, I like to like throw some cheese in there with the apples, and like, you know, green apples just aren't as good with it. So like, I think red apples are necessary.
There's your flag. Let's see if we get this buy up of 86s, 88s, and then you're gonna see the big volume come in on the 90s.
Let's do it. Like I said, as long as it stays over this range, I'm gonna hold it until 11 market time.
Nope.
Don't do it, Isaac. Don't leave us, bro. I will say this though. What do you have against apples, Isaac?
It's allergic.
Yeah, Eric, the legend, the myth. All right, so we're up at 86. We'll see if it continues to break this. It's still in that range.
Nope. Still tight.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Cool, though. Keyboard is awful. Ports are limited. No yoga ability. No touch screen, but willing to charge over $2,000. Talk about a ripoff. Yep. Isaac says, I come here for MMA and stock talk, not apples. We apologize.
Not apples, bro.
You know, MMA fine.
Being healthy.
MMA fine. Stock talk fine. You talk about apples, that's where Isaac draws the line, you know.
Hey, gotta have our limits. Be
Right.
a man of limits. Follow our limits. Follow our rules, right?
Right. Gotta be a man of character. Stick to
Hey,
what you
got
believe
to
in.
be, got to be. All right, guys, I'm seeing MBEV. Quick breakdown there on MBEV. I'm gonna look for the same on AMD here. See what happens here. See if we're gonna get a quick down move. MBEVs was really hard.
Yeah,
I might
look
look
at
for a VWAP reject up to 35s, 30s. The risk would be right above that, 36.
Yeah, AMD staying pretty tight in this range here. Oh, wait a minute. Is that a man, what is the movie? I'll find it. Goodwill Hunting. Is that a Goodwill Hunting reference? I think it is. Pinball. I mean, it's kind of following this triangle pattern though that I drew here. Like, look, if I remove these, I already know the range, but you can see kind of following this triangle move here. Kind of the make or
100%
break level.
following that triangle. Getting tighter and tighter.
Yep.
Oh, did you see that volume that just showed up in the 82s and 83s? Huge volume. Down 232K.
Here it is.
And then 116K on the 83s. I think we're going to see a down move here.
SPY dropped a little bit as well. There's the drop. Yeah, of course, Eric. Chat is very chill and enjoyable today. That's why we do it, man. You know. But yeah, big drop on the SPY, so we might see a big washout here on AMD, but the SPY just dropped back down. $76 on the AMD. It may not bounce. I mean, we'll see. The SPY dropped. AMD is breaking under that upward trend line on the bottom. So it may not bounce here. We'll see. It may just wash. Like I said, if it breaks under that 64 level, I'll get out. Or 68 level, I'll get out.
All right, guys, I'm short there on AMD. Short on AMD for pattern breakdown. 87 is my out. 86. 86.
You're going against me, bro.
Hey,
It's fighting words, man.
that's how it happens. Good thing yours is paper.
Right. And I'm taking profits. So, like, no matter what, it'll be a great trade.
I'm looking to see if the SPY can it's starting to make a really hard down move. We need to see it break this 257.24. There you go. That's looking better.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, I got out there. I don't like that drop, so I got out. $70 gain today. I'll take it with 500 shares. Not too shabby. So about a 14-cent gain per trade. So we'll see. We'll see if I was wrong. And this is another point of analyzing it. But another green day. I'll definitely take it. But it broke under that, what was it? That 68 level. That was my cue. Plus SPY dropping. Yeah, let me pull you up, bitch. What's your risk?
Right now, it was 86. Looking to take profits at that 60, 62 mark.
What's up, Casey? Good morning, man. He says, John, with the success you're having this week, does that change your outlook far as being aggressive next week? So my outlook for next week is probably I'll start actually like trading live money with the opening range breakout. It's working really well. Been 3 out of 4 successful days this week using that strategy, and so it's working really, really well. I've gotten a lot of data from this testing session with regard to like AMD following the SPY overall and what that means for the position I'm currently in. And so,
right, looking to cover here at 62s. Have the order out sitting there.
And so with this success this week, I'll probably move on to live money, and I'll probably try to just do it like I did this week with 400 to 500 shares. Just try to recreate it as much as possible and just let it work, and we'll see what we get, But that's what I'm looking at now. Definitely been a successful week with this strategy after a successful back testing session. And so that's kind of the process. You back test it, find out how accurate it is, paper trade it to kind of get the process, find little nuances that you might not pick up in back testing. And then if that is successful both times, then, it's time to move to real money. And so that's what I'm doing next week. Probably try with 500 shares. Yeah, it's been working really well, and my account's big enough to sustain 500 shares with this strategy. As long as I analyze that first 5-minute candle, like if the first 5-minute candle's over 30 or 40 cents, I have to scale down a little bit. If it's like 50, 60, 70 cents, I need to scale down for sure. But overall, I think I'm ready. I think it's time to move on to real money with it. I've done all the work. I've back tested it. I have traded it, tested the pattern, tested the setup, and now it's just time to move on to
all right, guys. Paid myself 100 shares there at 63.
Nice work, man.
100 shares left.
Robert, it's at Beginner Trades. At Beginner Trades.
All right, guys. Now my rest of my shares are going to be break even, which is 76. I have the support underneath me, which is 74. That should act as resistance now. I want to see that 74 act as a resistance.
But yeah, appreciate all the subs today. We're gonna get to 10,000 soon. We gotta do something for 10,000.
Yeah, man. We're gonna do a little party.
I wonder if there's a way to do a giveaway for the 10,000th sub. Or for
we will.
First 5. Maybe the first 5 over 10,000.
We're definitely going to do a giveaway. Maybe it's not the actual subscriber, but we'll definitely do a giveaway.
Right. Nice, Lucas. Taking advantage of that call out by Mitch. Good work.
All right. Got to watch these 74s here. I'm in at 76. You see how they're causing pressure there?
You should get – there's some resistance above you now.
Yep.
You got that resistance at 74. Yeah, so – I think that's a good level.
That's what I'm using. Exactly. That's what I want to see the rejection come from.
Casey Mac. So yeah, I have a video on it, Casey Mac. If you haven't seen it, did you see the video I posted about it? I've been posting updates on it every day, like update videos. And so did you see that? If not, I can post it. Just let me know.
Oof. You want to know what took a big tank? PCG.
It should, man. That company is solely responsible for the California fires. It's still mind-blowing to me.
That's a pattern breakdown right there. That was beautiful. All right, got to be careful here, guys. Don't want to see huge volume step in here at 74s because it could just bounce back here.
Look at those orders on Thinkorswim, man. We got 135,000 order on the ask of 71, and then we got a 50,000.
There you go. That looks good, actually.
SPY coming back down.
I like that right there. So much. I'm willing to add my shares back at 76, putting them out right now. We get a little bounce, get filled.
Yeah, I got you, KC. Yeah, no stress, man. Here, I'll post it. This is the video right here, KC. Cody, so they actually had an electrical fire that started and caused the California wildfires, at least from what I've read. So they actually started the California wildfires, and they're getting sued, I believe. And so, yeah, PCG, you know, from what I understand, not 100% sure, all speculation, I guess. But from what I see,
All right, gotta be careful here, guys. I saw some swing there in price action.
give away the Toyota, Robert. My baby, not my baby. You know, my Toyota. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I've got a Toyota Tundra. Don't think I'm gonna give it away though.
All right, gotta be careful here, guys. 76 gets bought up. I gotta get out. 77s. I'm out on the rest for right now. Gotta hold to that. You know, some people could hold up there to that 1980, but I need to take some of that profit back, get out of this trade, realize that it's not working for me. Not the way it should be. Should be a hold of resistance and then quickly down.
It was a good drop. You took advantage of most of it, so I like the way you approached it. You got out for break even on the rest, so good call. But yeah, if anybody's interested in using TradeNet, which is the broker that Mitch and I use, they do have their New Year's sale going on right now, so pretty cheap, 20% off. You get the intro package for $400. So go check out the link I just posted if you want to help support the channel, or if you're interested in using the broker that Mitch and I are using, go check out the link in the chat. I think the 20% off sale is going on for another week or so, so go check them out while you can. Lucas says, something I learned the other day, you can set a minimum size limit for your time in sales that allows you to see the large trades and filter out the smaller trades. Yeah, that's actually exactly what we do. Like, look, you can see here on Thinkorswim, like, that's exactly what we do. Let me pull it up. Yeah, you can see this bottom one.
Secret?
It's our secret, man. It's our secret. But no, you can see this bottom move here, and you can see this is only orders over 2K. This is only orders over 2K. Like, look. Here, let me squeeze it to the side here so you can actually see it. If you click TS right here, greater than equal to 2,000. So I only see the 2,000 share orders on it.
Yep. Why do we want to do that, guys? Why would we want to do that? Why would we want to only see big orders?
Because the little orders are algorithmic trading.
It's definitely, at the end of the day, what you're looking for is momentum, right? Momentum comes with volume. Volume is truly the only confirmation that there is. And what you're seeing is you want to see big volume step in the direction that you're heading. You know, a lot of us as traders are taking small share size, not enough to really change the market overall.
Yeah, maybe I got out of AMD early. It's one of the ways I should approach it. Maybe if I take partial, I should hold the rest for my entry. I think that might be a reasonable area. Because, like, the overall plan is to hold it until noon, right? And so maybe I just got a little antsy with it. But
I say you find, like, the nearest resistance from your entry, put your stop, hands off, and watch the trade.
Right, and just let it work.
Yep, either you get stopped out or you cancel your stop and you take your profit.
Right, because if I take 1-to-1 and then get out before my entry, it's going to be a profitable trade. And so exactly. I think maybe that would have been the best way to do it.
Or depending how close your 1-to-1 is, you can do your 1-to-1 and then hold off of that 1-to-1. So no matter what, you're going to take 1-to-1. But if it does continue on to, let's say, 3-to-1, you take your 3-to-1.
DC2 said why the 5-minute breakout on AMD is perfect. Yeah, I mean, when I back tested it, you could see the results here. You know, just the 1-to-1 profit target on the opening range breakout on AMD in a 3-month sample size gave me 47 successful attempts and 15 fails with a 76% accuracy rate. And so then I tested the continuation, like how often AMD continues in the breakout direction for the remainder of the day without triggering my risk area, and that gave me a 24 successful attempts and 16 fails, and this was only on a 2-month time frame, so 60% accuracy rate. And so then the last one I tested was how often does it continue in the breakout direction up until noon market time, and that gave me a better accuracy rate of 66% with 24 successful and 12 fails. And so all of them had positive accuracy rates. I think that holding it until noon was probably the most reasonable one, because not only is that going to have a high accuracy rate of 66%, but the risk and reward is going to be so much better for that type of trade that even though it has lower accuracy than the 1-to-1 reward to risk, that I'm still going to get so much more reward versus the risk I'm taking in that trade that it's definitely going to be worthwhile. And so that's kind of the way I wanted to approach it. And like I said, I might have gotten kind of a little antsy and nervous in it and exited too soon. So we'll see. I'll observe it for the rest of the day. But regardless, I'm going to move on to live money next week and try to take advantage of it. Oh, no, I use the daily chart for sure, DC. When does the trade net sale end? I believe in a week or so. Maybe a little bit over a week. So tell me why AMD is good for a long on the daily. I mean, it's had 3 days in a row. It's got support underneath it at 19 here. And it's had 3 red days in a row. Kind of the same thing here. You get to see 3 red days bounce back. Got support underneath it for pretty tight. You know, if you're looking at the daily, tight risk, big reward up here at 21.44. And so that's why. I mean, plus, I mean, it's down so much with the overall market in the last 3 months that I'm more long biased with it on if I'm looking at the daily chart regardless. How do you set the amount of volume and time and sales on Thinkorswim? So Samuel, you go to this TS window right here. So do you see this right here? You click that, and then it'll say show greater than equal to a bunch of different sizing. And so I just put greater than or equal to 2,000 shares because that's big enough to where I should pay attention if it's over 2,000. This is what's cool though, right? Like I back tested the opening range breakout, right? And you can see the results here. You know, the first one gave me a 76% accuracy rate, if you can see here. And then what's cool about it is that I traded it this week and I had, what was it? 3 out of 4 successful attempts. And so what accuracy rate is that? Does anybody know? That's 75%. Very close to the accuracy rate I got when I back tested it. So kind of confirms that as well. Yeah, I mean, I back tested it in a quick way, DC, because I was just trying to get the overall results over a decent sample. But, I mean, like I said, I take into consideration what the daily chart looks like, and, like, I have 3 monitors, so I have a bunch of charts up, and I also take into consideration, like, what the overall market is doing on that day, like, what the SPY is doing on that day. Yeah, no stress, Samuel. No problem, bro. But yeah, at this point, I'm looking at AMD to see if it's going to continue in the breakout direction, if it would have been smarter to hold through. APHA. Yeah, APHA had a big green day. So did ACB.
All right.
Oh, sorry, guys. pull this down.
There's a squeeze on the SPY. There's a squeeze
Yep.
on AMD.
Yep. Yeah, I probably should have held it to that noon market time. I notice a lot of time. The reason I set noon as my kind of risk time frame is because a lot of times stocks start to reverse right around noon market time, and so I think that holding it to that level makes sense. Volume starts to dry up. Traders stop trading as much around midday lunch break, and so I think that's the way I need to approach it. If I get 1-to-1 on it, I need to hold it to my entry at least and let it work, because if not, I'm getting out too early, missing out on moves.
Huge volume up at those 85s. Huge volume.
Oh yeah, for sure, Paul. Like you will lose money in the market. You know, it's kind of goes back to like each trade you get into. The reason you give yourself a risk and reward level is because you have to accept that risk before getting into the trade. And a lot of, like we went over it yesterday, a lot of traders don't actually accept that risk. They kind of just think they're gonna win, and so when they do lose, it really affects them. And so it's like you get into a trade, you try to find favorable risk and reward levels, and you accept the risk no matter what. You understand that, you know, you basically are kind of throwing that money away at that point, accepting the risk you get, to where, you know, you don't want to just think you're going to win. You want to try to be as objective as you can and accept any risk you give yourself. And it's one of the hardest things to do, you know, especially for new traders, because, you know, it's human nature. Nobody likes to lose money.
All right, right here. If I was going long, this is where I would take AMD. 80s, 78s. You could risk off that 74. I'm going to see what happens here with the SPY before I make a decision on my next trade here.
Yeah, the SPY's kind of in a sideways day, and like I kind of agree with what Todd said yesterday, that like a lot of times the SPY will go to the high, back down to the low, back up to the high. And Todd actually said that he sometimes takes trades like when the SPY's at the high, as long as it doesn't break it, he takes a short position with the thinking that it may reverse back down like it has today some. So we'll see what we get on the SPY, see if it actually picks a direction at least.
Yep, that's my view of it overall. So it definitely has resistance above it here, closer than support. So
Wait, are you thinking about getting in another trade?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to close it down, but if not, no worries.
Depends here. What's going to go on with AMD here and the SPY overall. Just trying to hold underneath that last low on the 1 minute candle. 67s is trying to make a new candle and open up green. Let's see what happens here. You see how it moved just to that 67 right now? Let's see what happens here. Held at 67, went to 70s. Let's see if it opens up a new candle and kind of springs up towards that 257.88, or if it breaks down below the VWAP again to 257.48. $20,000 shares going through at 80 for AMD here.
Yeah, we'll just see if the SPY can get back up there. It has some of those major levels on the SPY at like 258 or so, just under 258. It had a lot of tops there, 257, 258. And so we'll just see if it can get above those levels.
One that's interesting to watch also is APHA. If it can't get back above 716s, 715s, if it does, it should break out above that 718. There's a move back up, holding its weight See if he gets back above those. There he goes, pushing the SPY. The SPY is doing what we call Chop City today again. Look at the 1 hour chart. What has it done in a whole 2 hours? Held the support, held the resistance.
Let me document today. 1950 or so. Wait, let me see the 5 minutes. Don't stress, Isaac. We'll see you tomorrow, brother. Or Monday, bro. Don't worry about it, man. You'll bounce back. 1950s.
There's a crackdown APHA through the sevens. Oof, big crackdown there.
All right.
Big pattern breakdown on APHA.
Yeah, SPY's testing that level, that 258 level that we talked about, that 257, 258 level.
Yeah, MU up there on that third resistance.
I don't know if it'll let you DC. I don't know if it'll let people post, except for Mitch and I.
Depends what kind of post. Thinking right now, PCG on a VWAP fade there, 1730s off of 41, but I think I just missed it. It was pretty nice. It went up there to 35s. It's a good range there. Oh, I might be missing that AMD. Yep, I'm missing it right now. I need a bounce here.
Oh, you're looking to go short on AMD?
I'm looking to go in whichever direction the pattern wants to break down to. If it was on a breakout, we could have seen it hold those 80s and get back up there. I think I might have missed the entry there, though.
Yeah, TQQQ is trending with the overall SPY, it looks like. Probably an ETF, right? It's got to be pretty close to what the SPY is doing. Is it a volatility ETF or is it a... What kind of ETF is it? PYX popping up on the scanners. Yeah, look at PYX go today. PYX had a big day today.
SPY playing games here.
It's just staying in the range.
This is range bound day. Sometimes these days you just gotta call it a quits.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at the range here. Just kind of in that range.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll probably end up closing it down, guys. That's probably it for today. I'll try to post a video this weekend. But yeah, another green day for the opening range breakout. I'll definitely take it. We'll see if I should have held it longer or not. That's kind of the next thing to go on here. So we'll see what we get. I should have a recap video of today coming out soon. Like I said, go check out TradeNet. Their New Year sale is going on right now, so 20% off. And so go check them out if you're interested in using the broker that Mitch and I are using. But yeah, you get 20% off, so the intro account is like $50 or $500 or $400, and so you're actually getting $700 to lose, and so you're actually getting an extra $300 to lose if you use it during the sale. But still a pretty good deal, good for new traders, cheap commissions, a lot of shorts. Biggest flaw is that some penny stocks aren't tradable, so go check them out if you're interested in using them. And yeah, I'll post that video a little bit later today, and try to post that video, post another video this weekend, so we'll see what we get. But good luck. Appreciate the sub, Chris Caldwell. If you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We day trade live on stream every weekday morning, and yeah, we appreciate any support we can get, so click that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you want to help support the channel, guys, click that like button right now on this video. So if you appreciate this content, click the like button, show your love by supporting the channel. And yeah, guys, good luck for the rest of the day. We'll see you all a little bit later, and good luck in this market. Yeah, see you all next week. Ready to use real money next week on the opening range breakout strat. So we'll see how that goes as well. Wish me luck, all. But yeah, you got to say anything else, Mitch?
Nope, that'll be it, man. Just keep working hard, keep developing plans, sticking to your risk management system, and you will continue on trading with us.
Yep, yes, sir. So good luck, all. We'll see you all a little bit later.
All right.